Hello, welcome to Fluent English. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you 12 phrasal verbs that you need in your daily communication. Speaking is much easier when you use phrasal verbs for speaking. So when you use phrasal verbs in speaking, it will not only build up your confidence, but also it improves your skill of communication in speaking. So in today's lesson, I'm going to give you 12 most common phrasal verbs that we use in our daily conversation. So let's get started. So number 1, call off. For example, you can say, they called off the trip due to financial difficulties. If you take another example, we can say, the match was called off due to bad weather. Second phrasal verb is look for. You can use the phrasal verb look for when you are trying to find something. For example, if you are trying to find a key, without just saying, I'm trying to find a key, you can say, I'm looking for the key. In a similar way, in another example, you can say, he's looking for his new shirt. So in that way, you can replace the common utterance trying to find with the phrasal verb looking for or look for. My third phrasal verb is get along. Now with this one, we use the preposition with because we need that preposition with to have a complete meaning of that phrasal verb. If you can build up a good or positive relationship with anyone, you can use this phrasal verb get along with. For example, you can say, she gets along well with her co-workers. In another example, you can say, he gets along with his neighbors nicely. That indicates his relationship with his neighbors is a good one, and he can maintain it quite nicely. Fourth one is run out. Here also we use the preposition of. So the meaning of this phrasal verb is when you are losing something or you are going to lose something very quickly in the future, you can use this phrasal verb to express that meaning. For example, you can say, we are going to run out our options very soon. We ran out milk this morning. My fifth phrasal verb is make up. Make up means invent something, especially a story or an excuse. For example, you get late for something, so you have to make an excuse. For that, you are going to invent a story which is not very true for getting that excuse. For example, you can say, he made up a reason for being late. In another way, you can also say, she makes up excuses all the time. So in that way, you can use the phrasal verb make up in your daily conversations. Next phrasal verb I selected is cut down on. When you want to reduce the use of something, especially amount of food that you consume, you can use this phrasal verb to give that idea. For example, you can say, I'm trying to cut down on sugar. That means you're going to reduce the sugar intake that you usually take. For another example, you can say, you have to cut down on alcohol for quick recovery. This also means that you have to reduce the level of alcohol you take for quick recovery of your illness. So in that way, you can use the phrasal verb cut down on when you are going to talk about reducing something that you use. The seventh phrasal verb is figure out. Now this means to understand, solve or find a solution for something. For example, you can say, I can't figure out how this machine works. In another example, you can say, they are trying hard to figure out the cause. Both the examples indicate trying to find a solution or have an understanding to a problem. Now let's move on to the seventh phrasal verb, which is drop by. Now what's the meaning of the phrasal verb drop by? For example, suppose you are going to visit someone while you're going somewhere. That visit could be a short visit and you are going to pay that visit while you are going somewhere. So for that, we can use this phrasal verb drop by. For an example, you just can say, I'll drop by your office in the afternoon. In that way, you can use this phrasal verb drop by when you want to talk about a brief or unexpected visit to someone or somewhere. My ninth phrasal verb is bring up. When you want to mention something or some topic in your conversation, you can use the word bring up. For example, you can say, she brought up an interesting point at the conversation. Now it means that while they are having a conversation, she brought up an issue. So she raised another issue so that they can also talk about that issue as well. In that way, when you want to raise another issue while in your conversation or in discussion, we just can use the phrasal verb bring up. For another example, you can say, he hopes to bring up the issue of punctuality during the meeting. My next phrasal verb is hang out. So what's the meaning of the phrasal verb hang out? It means spend your time in a more relaxed way. If you spend your time relaxing with someone or all by yourself, you can use the phrasal verb hang out to express that idea. For example, you just can say, they love to hang out at the mall. In another example, you can say, she used to hang out in the park. So you can use this phrasal verb when you talk about spending time in a relaxing, friendly manner with someone or by yourself in some place. Now this moves on to my next phrasal verb, which is keep up. It means stay at the same level of pace. Simply put, if you can remain the same way that you work continuously, you can use this phrasal verb to express that idea. For example, you just can say, they continue to keep up with the good work. This means that they continue to keep on doing the good work. For another example, you just can say, it's hard to keep up with latest trends. In this example, it means that it's difficult to continue or it's difficult to carry on in the same level with the latest trends. So in that kind of situation, we just can use the phrasal verb keep up. Another important thing is that when you use the phrasal verb keep up, we have to use the preposition with as well. So my last and 12th phrasal verb is show up. When you arrive somewhere or you appear in some place, you can use the phrasal verb show up to convey that meaning. For example, you go to a class, you just can say, he showed up in the class. In another example, you can say, the team showed up on time. It means that the team arrived in some place in time. So with that, we come to the end of our lesson. In today's lesson, I try to teach you 12 most commonly used phrasal verbs in our daily communication. When you use these, it will not only boost your confidence, but also it will improve your skill of speaking and they will make your communication easy. So with that, we are going to wind up this lesson. See you in the next lesson. Until then, have a nice time. Take care.